Hi, this is Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, and today I want to talk to you about another section in the series called The Secrets of Shamanism, The Path to Spiritual Mastery. And today, this is very exciting, I want to talk to you about the 9 worlds. Now, most neo-shamanic practitioners out there are aware of what they call the 3 worlds, the upper, the middle, and the lower. And if they're taking the Siberian model, or at least the neo-shamanic version of the Siberian model, they'll travel to the 3 different worlds in shamanic trance. They'll use drum to put themselves into a trance, and then they'll travel to the 3 worlds either to get information or to perform healing or to meet with one of their spirit guides. Anyway, again, the whole point of shamanism is not just having an experience. The whole point of shamanism is to solve problems. So shamans travel to other realms not just to have an experience, but to solve real world problems. Whether it's their own personal problems or whether it's somebody else that's come to them for healing. Originally what shamans did is they put themselves in trance so they could leave their body to find out where the herds of game were. They could come out of trance and they could tell the chief, hey, there's a herd of game over 2 mountain ranges over there. We need to get over there. It's going to be good. That was the first shaman. So again, problem solvers. This is what shamans do. So the way that we are able to solve problems is by mastering the dream, which is what we're doing here. So within the dream that we live in, there are 9 dimensions, 9 worlds of the world tree. So point is that there's more than just 3 worlds. My take is that the 3 worlds correspond with the 3 selves, the upper, the middle, and the lower self. So when you travel to the 3 worlds, you're either traveling to your unconscious mind or you're traveling to your higher consciousness. But there are other 9 worlds that you can tap into and travel to. And this is actually represented very well in the Norse tradition. Now, the pre-Christian Norse people, they taught about a mythological tree called Yggdrasil, which means Odin's horse, loosely translated. Odin was the psychopomp who could travel to all the different realms of existence. So his horse was the tree. The tree had 9 branches on it, which means that Odin was able to actually ride the 9 worlds. So these 9 worlds also exist within the body. And there are 9 points on the body. There are 7 chakras, and then there are 9 points on the body. From starting at the top of the head, the third eye, the mouth, the throat, the heart center, the solar plexus, right beneath the heart center, the navel center, the sexual center, the root. And then these 9 points correspond with the 9 realms of the world tree. Now, all that information, what do you do with that? That's nice, that's fun to know, but now we can take that and use that. And there is one practice that I've used this very successfully, and it's called the spell of the 9 knots. Now, this was an actual spell that was used by pre-Christian Anglo-Saxons, the spell of the 9 knots. Now, when you combine the spell of the 9 knots with connecting with the 9 points on the body, which connect to the 9 realms, the 9 worlds of the world tree, you are accessing tremendous amounts of power. In fact, I'm getting goosebumps as I think about it. Now, to do this correctly, you use a sine wave, and we can go through also using the medicine wheel, or what I call the thunder wheel, the 9 points on the thunder wheel. And so if you want to do that, there's a DVD where I teach that below, which is called this Anglo-Saxon Shamanism, the Spell of the 9 Knots. That'll teach you how to create a ritual 9-pointed medicine wheel. It will teach you about the 9 worlds, and it will teach you how to use this energy in what's called a sine wave. Sine wave bounces back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. Bing, 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 bing. And that's how the energy works. When you start at the top and the bottom, and you just keep, and it bounces back and forth up until you get to the heart center. When you get to the heart center, then you throw out your intention. And when you do that, you've got all of the 9 worlds coming together to create your intention. It's incredibly powerful. I don't recommend that you do it lightly. I made that a few years ago, and there's, I looked at it recently, and there's one little section that I didn't edit out, and you'll see that if you get it, and I apologize for that. There's a little section where you see me just kind of, anyway, you'll know it when you get to it. But that's what I recommend. Get Celestial Qigong, which will give you power. You really want to be a shaman, and you really want to create magic. You really want to transform yourself and transform the world. You need power to do that. Celestial Qigong is the most powerful energy work I've ever done, and I teach it on that video. I also recommend, if you're going to do this, get the Spell of the 9 Knots. You can use the two of them together incredibly powerfully. I also recommend that if you're interested, that you work with me as an apprentice. And I am now taking apprentices because eventually what I want to do is, I've got so much knowledge, and I've taken all this tremendous, this knowledge that I've used, and I've willowed away all the stuff that is unnecessary, and I've got it down to a core science that I call shamanism. And I want to teach that to somebody, which includes energy work, astrology, shamanic drumming, meditation, mantra, deity worship, ritual, manifestation, all these things, even more. I'm going to teach this to as many people who can handle it. I'm looking for 5 apprentices who are really committed to working with me for the long haul, and of that I'm going to pick 2. And of those 2, I'm going to do everything in my power to teach them absolutely everything that I know. So if you want to be one of those people, click on the apprenticeship button below. And until next time, my friend, this is...